So, part 2 of our A5 project. The standard shockers on this of the last couple of years, looking at MOT history, have not been the best. It's they're leaking a little bit, you can definitely tell when you're driving it. So it's not really required for this initial stage of tune to be upgrading suspension and brakes, but when like this one, brake pads are probably past the best and suspension's definitely leaking. We might as well upgrade it first. So we're going for a coilover arrangement. The idea with this type of suspension, we can adjust the spring seat as well as the damper length on the front and the rear, which means we can get really good corner weights without having a car that's got one wheel a mile higher than the other, so that works pretty good. Brakes wise, we've got Audi A5 brakes. They're 345mm on the front as opposed to 320 on these standard, I believe. And we're also, these are the rear pads, the front ones are buried. Pagid RSL 19s, which we've run these on track cars and had a lot of good stuff to say about them, but they're really good on the road as well. So we always stick with a good pad. Your pad's far more important than your disc, but these discs, just a normal Brembo OE quality thing. No point spending money on brake discs. They've got all silly dimples and grooves in. So then on to the, we've got some braided hoses as well. We'll get these for pretty much any car. Full shebang. So then we've got every Powerflex bush that you can get for this chassis. All the black series. We think the black series are absolutely fine for road cars. Obviously, engine mounts, you don't want to be running anything more than red series stuff on these cars. Also got these for the front brakes, tidal sport stiffeners. They replace the rubber sliders for these bronze ones, which hopefully should stop a bit of slop. Bit of extra pad wear. Usually with the rubber mounts they'll wear unevenly. When you're lowering this chassis, you get a lot of camber. You need to dial that out. These camber arms don't need anything too fancy with them. On the cars that have got air ride like Scott's SQ5, you'll eventually wear these out anyway, so don't spend hundreds of pounds on them, you're just wasting your money. Anti-roll bars, we've got a standard 25.6 on the front, so this is a 28, and then we've got a 21.7 on the rear, and this is a 23, so fair bit difference. They come with their own bushes. They're from Eibach. Never have any problems with Eibach stuff, it just bolts on and works. And then all the way to the back we've got the rear calipers from an Audi S5, and they are 330mm disc vented as opposed to the standard 300mm solid disc, so we should have better brakes all round. And obviously showed you the rear pads before. A lot of people just put cheap rear pads in because I don't think the rear brakes do a lot, which is fine for road use, but if you're going to take it on the track, you definitely will suffer from a longer pedal just because the rear brake pads are going all spongy and horrible. We've had that quite a few times. It took a lot of testing before we realised that was the problem. Put some good pads in the back, your pedal stays a lot harder. The next thing to go then is your brake fluid, which we've not got any here, but if we're going to run it hard on track, we'll run Mortal RBS 600 or RBS 660. But for road use, just every 6 to 12 months, or after every really hard track session, just bleed them up with some normal .4. So the next time you see this car, it'll be a lot lower, handle better, bigger brakes, and we might even get around to putting some different wheels and tyres on, but we'll see. Then on to the remapping, performance testing, and after that we'll be going to the dyno. So, goodbye.